American versus European theme parks. Which one is better? We're gonna find out in this video, of course. As a fellow European citizen, I've been lucky enough to travel to America 2 times, and I've experienced everything from Busch Gardens and Universal to a typical chain park in America. And I'm also gonna talk about which parks does it better in my opinion. And that's why I'm gonna talk about highly relevant subjects such as theming, thrills, safety, bag policies, on-ride filming, and so much more in this video. And I'm of course gonna talk about this subject as fast as possible, so let's get into the video. And the first and perhaps most important topic is thrills. And it is very easy to spot that the American theme parks has a higher number of average rides per park. And to top it off, all the rides are a lot bigger, and that is also in terms of roller coasters and flat rides. And I also think that the target group of American theme parks are teenagers/adults, where it in Europe is around the family section. And yes, I would agree with that there is a lot of dots at the American theme parks, but the number of rides are so high that they still have the better thrills over the European theme parks. But you still have some European theme parks that match the thrills of America, such as PortAventura and Energylandia. But America overall has the better thrills. Now the next topic is of course theming. And this is of course where every other European theme parks wins over the American theme parks, except if you mention the Universal or Disneyland parks. In Europe we have a lot more immersive theme parks, and that is because they focus on theming. The whole experience when you enter the park, it needs to be themed to something. Every ride needs to be themed to something. And one of the greatest examples of this is of course Phantasialand in Germany. And this is of course where you can experience the best theming and almost the best thrills in Europe. Take a look at this Vekoma flying roller coaster called Fly. Imagine if this roller coaster didn't have any theming. The whole point of this ride is near misses and dodging in and out of these theme structures. But there are also some theme parks such as Busch Gardens and SeaWorld that put an emphasis on a bit of theming on roller coasters. But the European theme parks of course get a point here. Now the next topic is policies. And the biggest difference between America and Europe is the safety. I think almost every American theme park has metal detectors when you enter, and only a few European theme parks have metal detectors when you enter the park. The entrance queue for American theme parks can be a pain in the bum, but I get why. You have guns over there, And at American theme parks there's also a lot of guards walking around making sure we're safe, but in European theme parks I haven't seen a single one. So in terms of safety, even though it can be a pain in the butt in America, they get a point. But in terms of bag policy, oh damn, I really hate the American bag policy. In many of the American theme parks you can't even bring your own food or water, and that is just annoying, man. And because of the lack of metal detectors and bag checks, you are allowed to bring almost everything into European theme parks. And this is where I bring my delicious homemade sandwiches. So that is why you at almost every other American theme park you need to pay for lockers, and that is around 10 to 20 bucks extra. And I get the point that they don't want people throwing bags in the station or getting bags stolen and whatever, but it works in Europe. But it could be because we are much safer over in Europe. And to conclude the policies topic, there are less restrictions in European theme parks of course. So there's also a bigger emphasis on trusting the visitors. Surprisingly, there's also some self-operating rides for visitors at some theme parks in Europe. And a crazy less restricted safety example is located at Tivoli Gardens in Denmark. The old wooden roller coaster from 1917 has no security railing when the train rolls in. That means the riders getting ready to board the train could in theory just jump on the track and die. But they don't do it of course. Because of the popularity of cell phones of course in the whole world, on-ride filming is not allowed at many of the American theme parks except Busch Gardens of course. In Europe you can almost film at every theme park. Your professional action camera needs to be secured of course. So I would of course prefer the restrictions they have at the European theme parks because they are less tight. Just like the Americans. Oh my gosh, I cannot do anything, I'm just a stupid man. In terms of merch and souvenirs, America is the clear winner here. People often talk about the most American theme parks prefer quantity over quality, and I can see the point. They have a much bigger emphasis on creating cool souvenirs and new merch for their rides. For example, a popular ride in the American theme parks could have 5 to 6 different themed hoodies and t-shirts, but in a European theme park the total is around 5 or 6 hoodies for the whole park. And why that is? That could be because of the theme park culture, as I would call it. Visiting theme parks in America are much more popular than visiting theme parks in Europe, and why is that? I don't even know, man. The main reason could be the large amount of theme parks and of course theme park rides that you have over there. When you speak to American people at the park, you can really hear that they know their roller coasters across the world, and that is not the case in Europe. I don't really know anyone in my friend zone that loves roller coasters and know the roller roller coasters around the world, and people often seem a lot more happy at the American theme parks. And now we've reached the last topic, which is food. The American theme park culture and the theme park lovers in America gets a point for me. The food can of course vary from different theme park to theme park, but in America the food is bad/mid at most of the chain theme parks and the private parks. The best food I ate over in America at the theme parks were at Busch Gardens and Universal, and that was at most okay. The best food I ate in America was of course the Philly cheesesteak at Hershey Park, but the rest of the food at the chain parks were terrible/bad in my opinion, and I'm not a picky eater. Most of the food at European theme parks are also quite bad, but they are a bit better than the American theme parks in my opinion, and that could also be because the European theme parks had a lot more themed and immersive restaurants and on-site hotels where you can eat, and you cannot find these locations at the chain theme park locations in America. But of course in Universal and Busch Gardens you can find some of these restaurants. And now we've reached the end of the video where I'm gonna give you a final answer. I'm of course gonna choose a side. I'm not gonna be like the rest of the YouTubers, oh I don't want to pick a side, you can write in the comments, but yeah, you can also write in the comments if you want to. As a fellow European, I have to betray you guys. I have to choose the American theme parks, and the reason is of course that I love big thrills and roller coasters, and America has the biggest thrills and roller coasters. And if I had to choose a favorite park in America, I had to choose Cedar Point or Busch Gardens Tampa. And in Europe I really love Energylandia, Port Aventura, and also Phantasialand, of course, that combines thrills with amazing theming. And that of course takes us to the end of this video where I will say a final thing. Did you like this video? Would you like to see more of these videos? I don't know, man. And at the end of the day, subscribe, like, or support the channel. I don't know, comment, say something, blah blah blah, and